This conference will now be recorded.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started, everybody. This is Ryan Bernhardt with National Weather Service Glasgow, along with Luke over here at National Weather Service Billings. And we're going to give you what's going to be a brief overview of what's going to be happening for tomorrow's potential severe weather event. So, key points to remember is a low pressure system is going to track to the south of Montana, and as it tracks to the south, it's going to start forming showers and thunderstorms over the area, starting with a small wave in the morning. And then after that little wave goes through, the main event will start happening right around 10 a.m. over central Montana. And as the day progresses, it'll start to move over to the east and to the eastern side of the state, as well as getting over into North Dakota. And in the afternoon is when the more intense stuff is going to happen, especially on the far eastern Montana and western North Dakota. So main threats with this system are going to be hail up to 2 inches in diameter, gusty winds that could do 75 miles an hour, some localized heavy rainfall, over an inch an hour possible, and we cannot rule out the possibility of an isolated tornado potentially happening. So let's go ahead and just do a brief overview of what we mean with the Storm Prediction Center's severe thunderstorm risk categories. If you're in a marginal, which is going to be more over central Montana tomorrow, means your severe storms are going to be kind of limited in duration and coverage and intensity. Slight risk getting a little further east. The storms are going to get a little more scattered, not quite widespread, but isolated intense severe storms are possible. And then in the eastern Montana and western North Dakota is where we're looking at our enhanced risk, which I'll show you in the next slide. And that means numerous severe storms are going to be possible with more persistent and widespread and a few more intense storms. So here's the outlook for tomorrow. As you can see, got a marginal risk over from Great Falls and Helena to just outside of Lewistown, and from Lewistown through Glasgow and almost to Miles City and Billings is where you have the slight risk. And then once you get east of Glasgow and right around from a Glasgow to Miles City line, that's where you're going to have the most enhanced risk of having a severe storm. So again, eastern Montana and western North Dakota is where you're going to have your biggest risk. So for our severe wind outlook, we're looking at the potential of seeing a probability of 15 to 29% severe wind from in Glasgow and Billings. And then the Miles City, Sydney, Williston areas, and maybe over to Dickinson are going to see about 30 to 44% chance of severe wind. Probability of hail is going to be anywhere from 15 to 29% for anywhere pretty much east of Lewiston and into North Dakota. And then the tornado outlook, about a 2 to 4% probability of a tornado through central and the western part of eastern Montana. And then again, western North Dakota and far eastern Montana have the higher probability of a tornado between about the 5 to 9%. All right, so WPC excessive rainfall outlook, there is a marginal, even a little bit of a slight risk up into far northeast Montana, western North Dakota, and then the rest of the northeastern Montana has a marginal risk, mainly from isolated downpours localized under the heaviest of the severe storms. And then again, here's a little bit of safety precautions that we can take. If a tornado warning is issued, take shelter immediately in a sturdy structure. Severe thunderstorm warning, if there's hail warned on, get away from the windows. Same with if you get severe wind, stay away from windows. That's the most dangerous part of your house because the glass could break or blow in on you. if you even hear thunder, that means that you're getting a little too close to the storm. I mean, it could be a rumble of thunder 1 second, and then the lightning bolt could touch down almost right next to you. It has happened before. And then, as far as flooding, if you see your roads covered with water, do not cross them. Turn around, don't drown. It does not take much. Doesn't take much water at all to float a car off of the road and wash it away. And moving on. Also, make sure you secure anything that can be blown away, especially garbage cans or lawn furniture or any type of tarp or tent covering. And again, to summarize, the storms are going to kind of start forming in early in the day, especially in central Montana, and then they're going to start tracking east and intensifying it during the afternoon and evening. All type of severe weather hazards are possible, including large hail damaging winds, possibly an isolated tornado, and heavy rainfall under any storm. So we do ask that you continue to monitor the forecast for any updates, as well as for any type of severe thunderstorm or tornado watches or warnings that may be issued tomorrow during the event. And that's pretty much all I've got. Luke, did you have anything that you'd like to add?
Yeah, I mean, you covered it well there. Down in our area, similar trend with all the threats that we're seeing. Same timing, storms getting going in the later afternoon or later morning, and then through the afternoon into the evening. But I did want to kind of point out too, especially for our area, but the whole state, those storms will get going right away, will be more kind of isolated and patchy. And then as they do move east towards the Dakotas, they may become a little bit more line segment like with some multi-storms going on. And with that, then the hail threat or the wind threat actually does increase as well. So those will be things that we'll be watching as the storms do move east through the day tomorrow. But otherwise, after the strongest storms move through, we may see some lingering, weaker showers and thunderstorms, especially in our area of south central and southeastern Montana. That stuff will not be as big of a risk as the initial stuff that moves through. So I did want to just bring that up. But otherwise, you covered it well. So that's kind of all we have. But I guess we'll open it up for questions now, if anyone has any questions for us regarding anything with these storms.
All right, since I'm not really hearing any questions coming over, just keep checking back on our social media and any type of posts. We will keep you advised on any type of watches or warnings and anything else that we Could you touch on the lingering wind threat through Friday? Um, so Friday, yeah. So after Friday, that the low pressure system's going to rotate on through, and then it's going to keep the winds elevated until the rest of the low and the upper level low gets to the east. It's going to be maybe a little more widespread, but the winds aren't going to be as intense as they would be, say, if you got direct hit by one of these severe storms or one of these lines of severe storms that could come through tomorrow.
Yeah, and just to add on that too, is same thing for our area. The main threat with those winds is obviously Thursday, but then Friday, just kind of some widespread 25 to 45 mile per hour winds, a little bit higher if you get up into the crazy mountain area. But overall, it's not looking like it's going to be too strong on Friday, but there will be those lingering winds.
All right. Does anyone else have any other questions? All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and conclude the call. And once again, just keep checking back on weather.gov for Glasgow or Billings, and keep watching our social media, Twitter and Facebook. And have a good day, guys, and stay safe.